Hey, we are the Lab Doctors. I'm Amanda.
I'm Dorothy.
And I'm Zhao Yong.
We are biomedical researchers who realized we still have a lot to learn about science.
So why not join us on this quest?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lab Doctors podcast. On this week's episode, we are going to be talking about...
Why do we yawn?
Oh, someone said it's to get more oxygen, is it?
No, that's the theory, I think.
Yeah.
But I think that's not why.
And why is yawning contagious as well?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes, I'm going to answer all those.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, there's only one link today. Okay, two links which I just found this morning.
Okay.
Because this is a review article by Gupta and Mittal written in 2013. So actually there's a lot more links in the research article which you can further click into. Okay, so first some fun facts about yawning before we go into theories and myths and facts.
Oh my god.
It's already begun.
I read this book
Okay,
where
don't
it's
just
like,
yawn, okay.
even reading the word yawn will make you want to yawn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thinking
I'm
about
going
it.
in there. Stop saying what I need to say.
Sorry. Because he yawned.
No, it's a good thing and you'll see why later. Okay, so fun facts about yawning. How long do you think it lasts?
3
Once.
seconds.
Huh?
I think so. Yeah.
1 second.
It can't be 1 second. What?
Okay, lasts an average of 5 seconds. So then I wonder what's the standard deviation cause what could the longest yawn be? 5 seconds feels very long.
Yeah. From when you open your mouth
Yeah.
to when you close it. I guess 5 seconds is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've done longer than that though.
So
Like
I feel like I've done double yawns. Have you done double
Yeah,
yawns?
yeah,
Where it's
yeah.
like you yawn and then you feel like you need to take a deeper yawn.
Yeah.
Okay, so yawning is the involuntary wide opening of your mouth with maximal widening of the jaw, together with long, deep inhalation through the mouth and the nose, followed by a slow expiration, associated with a feeling of comfort.
Yeah.
Often it comes with stretching of the limb so that you feel like super shook. Okay, so we talked about why do we think we yawn, and we talked about getting oxygen into the brain. So let me go through that first. So yawning and brain hypoxia. So hypoxia is the lack of oxygen in the brain, correct?
Or anywhere.
Oh yes.
Brain hypoxia is the lack of oxygen in the brain. Okay, so there's a common belief that yawning is triggered when the brain doesn't have enough oxygen and possibly is accumulating higher levels of carbon dioxide. So yawning is thought to remove the bad air from your lungs also, and that will help to increase the oxygen circulation in the brain.
Right.
However, this has been found to be not true,
Right.
contrary to what we have always thought since I was growing up. A study found that yawning frequency was not affected in those who breathe air mixtures containing higher levels of CO2 or even pure oxygen.
Right. Because I guess the idea is if it is really oxygen levels, then supplying a person with
Oxygen should like reduce their yawning.
Yawning.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
the other way around for carbon dioxide.
yeah.
Is that okay to supply carbon dioxide to people? That doesn't sound very okay.
No, but I feel like
A little
you know.
bit, yeah. Okay, so in relation to brain hypoxia, let me talk about, does yawning help to increase arousal? Cause like arousal as in
Sorry, Zhao Yong was like really trying hard to stifle a yawn.
yeah, he just
Dorothy's-
yawned again.
Every time she says yawn, I feel that urge to yawn. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, so does yawning help to increase arousal as in attention and alertness?
Right.
No. Sorry.
Right, but
Do you feel more alert after yawning?
not really. But it depends though. Sometimes the really big ones, I feel like, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it true?
Yes, so usually people yawn because they are drowsy or they are bored. I hope you're not bored.
No, it's every time you say yawn, like just when you say yawn.
Triggers
okay.
the...
And it's often caused by a lack of stimulation from the person's environment. Okay, Corey and his team studied the effect of yawning on 48 students around 18 years old, and they found that yawning significantly increased their heart rate at the peak of the yawn, as well as up to 15 seconds post-yawning. That means that, you just feel a bit like your heart starts pumping faster, and therefore you should feel a bit more alive.
Right. The big yawns, I feel like every time my heart will pump faster and I'll be like, what's going on?
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like, is it I got not enough blood or something? And why is this so? Okay, physically, yawning will help to increase your attention and alertness because it's a mechanical stimulation of the carotid body. So the carotid body is located in your neck and it comprises the carotid arteries, which supply blood to the brain, your face, and your neck. This mechanical stimulation may stimulate the release of molecules like adenosine and catecholamines, which would mediate arousal and wakefulness. So for adenosine, basically if you have endogenous adenosine in your your body, it would stimulate receptors on the carotid body to increase your rate of ventilation, so your breathing rate. While catecholamines, they are hormones responsible for the flight or fight response. Okay, any other theories you've heard? Yeah, but I just addressed it.
I don't get the why it triggers, why the word triggers.
Yeah.
So before I go into is yawning contagious, I have to go through this other part in this review article where they mentioned. So in parakeets, they did a study and they used parakeets because they have larger brains relatively. And they found that yawning frequency increased when the ambient temperature rose to within 0.5 degrees Celsius of the parakeet's body temperature. They are both like thinking, I don't know what's going on.
Oh no, I'm just thinking when it's hotter, do I yawn more?
Yeah, I feel like I do.
I feel like I do when I exercise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I always yawn when we do kickboxing. I
Yes.
don't know why.
I always yawn like after running 2.4 or something, and then my PE teacher will scold me like, why are you yawning? Is it you like not
Never run high enough, is it?
tired enough? Yeah, something
yeah.
like that. Oh no, I think they are asking like, are you not alert enough? Like, have you not waken up
That's
enough?
not, yeah.
Woken up enough from the run?
Yeah. But to me, I'm just like, if I was, why would I yawn? So your question is redundant.
Because yawning, people will think you're tired or like you're bored. You know?
Yeah.
So it's actually the other way. Like it could be because you're stimulated.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
But I'm just saying like the PE teachers and their lame ass insecurities. Just because you didn't design like a good enough PE session for your students to be stimulated doesn't mean that your student doesn't have a right to yawn. So
Who hurt you?
Yeah,
the
PE
PE teacher that scolded me for
Yeah,
yawning.
they singled me out, you know, like
Okay, that's even worse.
twice at least. Like, why are you yawning after you run the warm up? And I'm like, I don't know.
Now we know.
Yeah,
You
now
are
I
the
know.
person who is in physical education. So shouldn't you know?
You answer me.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
Anyway.
Eye rolls.
So in humans, instead of Gallup and his team used videos of yawning people to stimulate yawning.
Oh my god, Zhao Yong would like
I
be
was
so
yawning again for like
Like when you said video of people, I imagined a video of people yawning and I felt like yawning.
okay. I mean, it's good for this topic, which
Okay.
we will come in later. But the effect of placing a warm pack or an ice pack on the subject's forehead increased or decreased the yawning frequency respectively.
Wow.
Okay.
However, of course, this study is confounded by the fact that if you place something on your forehead, if it's warm, you would be soothed. You know what I mean? Like warm. Whereas if you place an ice pack, you'll be shocked.
All right. So it's like alert versus.
Yeah, correct. So it might be confounded by that. Also, does yawning help to cool the brain? Yawning may stimulate facial blood flow, and that may help in heat dissipation from your face. Also, when you take in the cool air during a yawn, you will also help in cooling your body and hopefully your brain. And also, they said that tearing in your eyes when you yawn can also help with heat dissipation.
No, it's like sweating. But
But for
through
your
your
face.
eyes. I mean, sweating, you don't get rid of heat.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And interestingly, patients with clinical disorders such as multiple sclerosis, epilepsy, migraine, stress, anxiety, head trauma, and stroke experience excessive yawning, which is followed by temporary cessation of their symptoms.
Oh, wow.
So these medical conditions lead to an increase in their core body temperature. Thereby, they have abnormal thermoregulation, and so yawning may help the body to try to correct these problems transiently. So now I can answer, is yawning contagious? In the study that we just mentioned, the human one where they placed the ice pack in the warm pack, they used videos of people yawning to stimulate yawning. So I guess it has to be scientifically backed up that yawning is contagious. And there was a journal article written by Robert Provine, who has been studying yawning since 1980s.
Wow.
And he claimed that seeing, hearing, reading, or even thinking about yawning can trigger yawns. So it's great that Zhao Yong's yawning so often and he yawned again.
I'm sorry.
It's like highly effective. And Amanda is immune to this.
Oh, no. I yawned a few times.
Oh, you
Clearly,
did?
you didn't see it.
When Dorothy was saying like when you
Oh my god, you're
read,
tearing.
When
You're sweating through your eyes.
when you read, hear,
Think.
What, think?
Think.
Yeah, but basically all those words just made me think of the word or that action in that form, and then
Yeah. So he also did a study with 10 men and 20 women and showed them videos that lasted 5 minutes of people repetitively showing a certain facial expression. So this facial expression could be yawning, smiling, or like they deleted certain facial parts, like they deleted the face or they deleted the mouth, that kind of thing, or the whole face.
for 5 minutes.
of like the same repeated facial expression.
I feel like I'll go insane.
So, and then they recorded the number of yawns and also the number of people yawning. And they found that the number of people who yawn and the total number of yawns increased significantly with the video from yawning, but not with the video of smiling.
Right.
And the rest are like kind of in between.
Right.
So yeah, I wanted to say, should we try and see if anyone yawns in the 30 minutes? But apparently it has been working. And the listeners, you all can also let us know if you are yawning because of the podcast or because you think it's boring. Okay, there's just 2 more points I'll cover today. The first one is yawning and your ear pressure.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so usually like when you take a plane or something, then when your pressure builds up, don't you like open your mouth? Or
Someone said just swallow.
Correct.
Swallow
Swallow.
saliva.
Yeah, so basically swallowing, yawning, they are using like the same mechanism. Okay, so relieving your ear pressure is achieved by opening the
I'm sorry, I yawned again.
eustachian tubes in your ears. So this could be your ear's own defense mechanism to prevent like your ears from exploding.
Right.
In a study by Winter and team, a contrast dye which they put in the nasopharyngeal orifice of the eustachian tube was found to reflux to the middle ear cavity in 4 out of 6 healthy volunteers during yawning. So I guess that just helps to relieve the ear pressure. So for swallowing and all, it's the same. Basically, you're just opening the eustachian tube. Yeah, but they're saying that because swallowing also helps to relieve the pressure in your ears, right? Yawning itself may not be the defense mechanism of your body to relieve the pressure in your ear. It's just, I don't know, because I'll be manually doing it to release the pressure, but I don't know.
For me, sometimes when I'm manually doing it, it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
So then somehow it triggers a yawn.
Really?
And then,
Or like you force yourself into
Yeah,
It
yeah,
it.
seems
yeah.
so easy for you. You just yawn, and you're gonna yawn. See?
just a bit more.
I feel like I hit
Yeah, and
Now I know. Sorry.
yawning times already.
Okay, so what's the last one?
The last one is yawning and apparently social empathy.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'm an empathetic person, Amanda.
No one said you won.
And you should be, because this study was done on infants and preschool children to show that
I'm an infant.
no, you're not, because there are 2 studies conducted by the same group of people. They wanted to see if children are susceptible to contagious yawning. So the first study, they asked 20 mothers to record the occurrence and the time at which their children, which ranged from 6 to 34 months, yawned over a period of a week. For some reason, only 8 mothers came back with their logbook.
Oh my god, it's so difficult though.
Yeah, that's the confounding limitation of the study. But in the logs they analysed, they found that the yawns were mainly only after getting up in the morning or after their afternoon naps. In the second study, they looked at 22 infants and toddlers, where they again showed them video clips of yawning mothers. And it's their own mother yawning. And they also inserted clips of unfamiliar individuals yawning or smiling. So 16 of the children did not yawn at all, 2 yawned once, and 4 yawned once after the presentation. So that means it's like majority of them did not yawn because like there's the insertion of the unfamiliar faces inside.
Okay.
Yeah, which would not stimulate them. So basically the condition from these 2 studies was that contagious yawning can only be induced in older people, like children over 4 to 5 years old, where their neural mechanism that is required in understanding the mental state of others begin to develop. So if you're too young, you're not like stimulated by other people yawning, or like there's no empathy in that sense. And in another study by Hager and Rossler, they observed that 43 schizophrenic individuals showed significantly lower rates of contagious yawning and laughter compared to neurotypical people.
Right.
And in one last study, Sandra and team found that 24 children on the autism spectrum yawned less in response to the same video clips of people yawning compared to neurotypical children. And this is in addition to the neurotypical children yawning more when they watch yawning videos compared to non-yawning videos, whilst children with autism showed no significant difference.
Oh, okay.
So basically they are like, in a sense, less socially empathetic.
So yawning is contagious. And that's why my cat can trigger me to yawn, but whenever I yawn, my cat just looks at me.
How are you so aware of yawning? I'm so curious.
The cats are not easily estimated. Maybe the cats have a mind of a less than 4 or 5 year old. Yeah, maybe you should have a dog so that you can see if it yawns back when you yawn.
I think they don't. Wait, do they? I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see. Do rabbits yawn? I was just thinking about the animals that yawn and I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen a horse yawn.
I don't think I've seen the mice yawn.
But is it because you don't observe?
You have seen the
I
mice
think
yawn?
I've seen mice yawn.
What?
Is it hamsters? Oh, am I imagining like some animated cartoon thing?
Maybe. Tom and Jerry.
I'm gonna Google
Oh my God, I
rabbit
just yawned.
yawning later. And we'll watch videos of rabbits.
And then you can see if you also yawn when the rabbits yawn.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's just maybe I'm also a very visual person. I
Oh,
can imagine
yeah.
things very well. So when you see it, I like. And as usual, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Spotify. A like and a comment would really help us out.
You can also follow us on our social media, Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, and feel free to DM us any questions.
Alternatively, you can email us at thelabdoctors@gmail.com. We'll post the links in the episode description, so check out the articles if you want. Thank you.